Hello everybody, I am going to show you how to do Countess Sonica with the new Falsetto Fantasy mode to get to EX++. For those of you who've seen my former video about Countess Sonica, I did one for Sentinel Hunt, and I haven't really changed up my teams all that much from that time. I did put in Alice to make my second team a little more stable so that I get EX++ every time. I tried my very hardest to get a free-to-play team comp, but I kind of failed at doing that, and also I didn't really have all that much time to invest into it. So if you lack some espers, let me know in the comments and I will try to help you to come up with suggestions on what you could use instead of what I have. But before we get into the builds, let's get into what actually Countess Sonica and Falsetto Fantasy does that is different from Sentinel. So there is a turn limit per team, and there is no manual option. Those are the main differences. What that means though is that your teams must be close to perfection, and there's not a lot of room for errors. There's a lot of room for how you want to build your teams, but when it comes to timing and stuff like that, it needs to be quite close to very good. So let's go through what Countess Sonica does in case you're not 100% sure of what the different stages and stuff do, because it's very important to understand this when you go to choose your espers. If you don't have this understanding of how she operates, it's going to be very, very, very hard to build anything, okay? So it's worth it. So let's do it together. So there's two phases, right? First you have the shimmer mode, which is going to affect mostly your first team, okay? So what she does is that she selects an esper that is going to be the only one that is going to do damage to her. And she selects the highest defense esper, okay? So that means that you need to have one esper that is very high in defense. And then she inflicts the debuff Hardcore Voice that decreases healing every time she takes an action. So that means that you need an esper that can remove debuffs and an esper that can do healing, okay? And then the total action times of the selected esper, the one with a high defense, and Countess Sonica make her go into the next stage. So what you will need for your first team, okay, this is important. You need to have one high def esper, you need to have an esper that can manipulate AP, you need an esper that can remove debuffs, and you need an esper that can do some healing. Okay? Now, for the second part of her mode, which is going to affect your second and your third teams. Alright? That's called Frenzy mode. And what happens then is that you have, first she does, when it comes to damage, right? In this mode, Countess Sonica takes a lot less damage for the first 3 hits of every turn. So that means that every 3 hits that your esper does is going to do less damage to her. So what does that mean? It means that you need to have an esper that does more than 3 attacks. Okay? So any esper you have that can do more than 3 attacks is good to go, and you need that. You cannot have an esper that deals a lot of damage but only goes once. Then you also need espers that can assist or pursuit, and you need espers with damage amplification and espers with high survivability and heals. And that's pretty much it for how she works. So let's go and get into how we do this. So these are my teams, and this is how I built them, okay? I've tried to put on as achievable relics as I think are, plausible. This is going to be, not super good, but it's also not very beginner friendly. So I'm sorry about that, but it's not really, I can't really do a lot about that. But as you can see, I have my Sander on very mid speed. He's not super fast by any means at all, and his crit rate and attack and stuff is not super high. What I do have though is that I have put him on lifesteal. Doing that really helps with survivability, especially if you don't have very strong relics apart from that. Then I have put in Apollo. I have him at, again, decent speed. The most important part here is that he has a lot of accuracy. Renzi, obviously, with a high defense and decent crit rate and crit damage. He doesn't need speed, by the way. And then, Celine. Decent speed again. And the rest is not, well, accuracy is very important. Okay, so the AP people, they need accuracy. So as you can see, she has over 80, which is good. And then Queen Mother with defense and HP and decent speed. And a lot of accuracy, which isn't really super important, but it's good to have regardless. So the speed order in this one is Celine, Apollo, Queen Mother, Sander, and Renzi. For my second team, it's very straightforward. So I have YC on just very basic damage and basic speed. Then Alice with the fastest speed out of the entire bunch. And then Gaius on just, you know, this. Ophelia. Arguably, I do have quite strong relics on her, but you can get away with much less attack as well. And then Clara. So the speed order of the second one is Alice, Clara, and then just the rest of them. And then for my third team, I have Louis, and then the twins. And as you can see, the white twin is faster than the red one, and that's because of his speed buffing AP stuff, which is good. And then just Sally on a lot of HP, and that's pretty much all she has got going for her with this build. And Meredith with you know, the defense and the HP and some speed, which is important. So the turn order on this one would be, let's see, how was it? So Meredith, and then White Twin, and then Sally. Right? Yeah, Sally, and then Red Twin, and Louis with no speed at the end. And this is how I've built my teams. And then we could blitz it. Actually, let's just blitz it so you can see the result. And then I can play through it afterwards and go through the pointers with you. Ugh, my god. I haven't failed to log in. Anyway, let me move myself. There, EX++. See? I'm not really going for the high scores, I'm just going for EX++ that is consistent in a way that feels good. That's all I'm really going for. I don't know why it keeps disconnecting me. Okay, so let's go through the actual round itself then. There we go. Okay. As I said, I was trying to get a free-to-play setup, but I just really couldn't do it. So that's how that goes. Is this mode slow for everyone else as well, or is it just me? Because it keeps loading and taking 250 years just to get to the next part. It's very annoying. Oh, also, if you're triggered by, you know, a lot of moving lights and things and stuff, by all means do not stare at the screen. Sonica is horrendous when it comes to that. But okay, so as you can see, what's going on now is that for every time that a turn is taken, there is health that is lost, and that is why having the heals and the dispels and all of that stuff, it's really important. And Celine and Queen Mother are actually really good together with that, and they're enough healing for this entire mode, which is really nice. So I'll just Actually, I will move myself a little bit so that you can see how many turns there is left. And this is the joy of the entire thing, right? That there's turn counters up here. I hate this. Am I the only one who hates it? I feel like a lot of people probably do hate that. I've seen a lot of complaints, but I don't know if people have complained about Sonica specifically. I just really don't like it. It's so annoying to me. Okay, so as you can see, it's all going quite nicely. It's going like clockwork, and that is kind of what you want. You want everything to be just smooth sailing, and you don't want anyone to struggle or to get too low on health or anything like that. Because you need your teams to get all of those turns. Like, you need to be forced into the next team instead of it just being, you know, you got to 20 left and then all your teammates are dead. Like, that does not work. You need to be alive throughout the entire turns. Like, all of them. Because otherwise there's just not really a chance that you get EX++. I mean, I guess it could be done technically, but it would just take a lot. Ooh, Sander is a little bit too close for comfort there, but it's fine. Yeah, and as you can see, there's 4 turns left, and we're doing fine. This is such a satisfying little build. And there we go. That forced switch is really good because that is exactly what you want to happen. You want it to get to 0 and then you're just shuffled out, which is perfect. Now for the second mode, it's all about those turns, and you can see the total damage there, that it will vary a lot. And the reason why I have the witch instead of Brewster, which I had on my Sentinel run, is because she just makes everything smoother, and her attack up and crit rate and all of that stuff is just really quite helpful. And also her assists, the assists that get triggered do help with the healing as well for some reason, because I was running a little bit low towards the end. And I just wanted it to be as smooth and as safe as I could so that I get the most bang for my buck every time that I do these, you know? So that seemed to fix that up entirely. So hopefully this won't be one of those super unlucky runs that, you know, 1 in 100 or something, and then I have to do it all over again to show you. But I think it will be quite fine. Having Gaius and Witch on counter is also really quite handy for situations like that. There's so many good sets in the game now, I feel like. But it's really hard to get all of them. Like, to, you know, to get all of the pieces to like a really high level. Having like the right substats and whatever on every set is really hard. It's a lot of work. And it takes a lot of gold too, because, you know, you need to roll every single one, and it's a lot of work. Well, this is quite promising, I'd say. They're all really healthy. The points are just stacking on. We're not having any issues. It's good. This is exactly what you want to see when you run this stuff. Also, I'm running my blue screen thing on my screen because just Sonica just is really hard on my eyes. So anything that I can do just to make it a little less harsh is good in my book. So I'm sorry if the quality is a little bit low, but I can't stare at that. It makes me crazy. You're a little low on health there. I would have preferred that we were a little higher up, but ooh, please be good. That buff blocker is so impractical to have right now. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, yeah, we're good. I don't know why I get so nervous. This team works so well, but still. Could always be, you know, you can always have that really unlucky run. And it would suck to have that happen right now. In a way, I'm really, really happy that we can just skip past this entire thing though, and just fast forward, because each one of these runs takes so much time. Takes so much time for no reason. Okay, 24 left. It should be good. Ooh. Ooh, that is way too close for comfort. My god. I guess we're gonna have one of those unlucky runs, huh? That's so typical though. God damn it. Ooh, maybe we're gonna be good. Okay, well it does look a lot more promising now. Again, why do I get so nervous? It always happens like that. Okay, 12 left. God damn it. Okay, well, this is not really a crisis though, it's just 8 left, so, you know, a little bit of being unlucky here and there does happen. It's not the end of the world, but it is annoying. Ophelia just does not give up. Good, okay, and then it's the final stage. Speed up and the recovery is so good. Together with Sally, it's just so much extra healing and support. I feel like Meredith and Sally together are just so underrated. They're not really appreciated enough, I feel like. You could also have, you know, I guess you could run Catherine maybe to get rid of all of the debuffs and stuff that she applies, because there is a lot of them. You know, I could probably have made Sally much faster as well, just to deal with that, but I wanted to keep the relics within, you know, an okay range for most people. And so I think the way that I built them now is like as low as I can go, probably, to still be able to score EX++. Like, you could probably go a little less attack here and there and less speed, but I think for the most part you kind of need to stay within the parameters that I've shown. It's really hard to do otherwise. Like, if you don't really have the relics, it's almost impossible. It's almost easier to do it without the right espers than doing it without the right relics. At least in my opinion, but you know. And there we go, and we still have 25 turns left. So anything extra from here is just a bonus. Obviously, if you want to score like really high, then you need to build your teams much better. But I just wanted to get EX++, and that's, you know, the goal of this, of building it like this. If you want to have a guide on how to score really high, by all means, let me know in the comments and I can whip something up. But I figured I'd just help anyone who's struggling to score EX++ instead, so. But yeah, let me know. If this helps, by all means, you know, let me know in the comments. I love getting feedback. It's nice. I like, you know, the communication. And give me a like. Anyway, that's, I think this wraps it up. Yep, 1-0. And is done. Yee. Good times. Okay, I hope this helps. Give me a big fat thumbs up and have a good week, and I'll talk to you when I talk to you. Bye.